Being an artist can always make it difficult to plan your life. Artists like Gauguin, for example, had a difficult time to live a normal life, to do the necessary things that are actually progressing their artistic career. Sometimes you're asking yourself why so many artists, especially the impressionists, had to struggle so much with the normality, with something like preparation, planning, strategizing, everything that is actually necessary for their artistic career. And when you look at the surrounding of this artist, you understand actually that their decision to produce this outstanding modern art was actually an act of freedom, an act of breaking out of the normal industrial society, because back then the human life was more of a function than life itself. Gauguin was heading to the exotic tropical islands to rediscover himself actually as a human, and to discover what is the human mind worth when it is living in freedom, and discover how his own artistic path will progress in this outstanding exotic location, how all the impressions will manifest later on in his artistic work. Nevertheless, when you let go of this myth that the artists back then were just all about freedom and being planless, when you can let it go for a moment, you will discover a different Gauguin and even different other artists who were actually very willing to prepare, to do the necessary footwork to head forward with their art. When you are reading the biography even of an artist that was living their chaotic life, that was all about their expression, like Van Gogh, you will discover that behind all this there was nevertheless a very systematic thinking artist that was putting himself in position where he actually could develop. It is not an approach that was used by the classical artists in the centuries before, the classical path of an artist going through artistic studies and then working as an apprentice and until he became a master. It was not the same path, but nevertheless those artists that produced these outstanding artworks also took the time to go through a systematic process to head to the best possible future for the art. And this is also something you should perhaps consider for yourself as an artist. I know we as artists and creatives, we don't like so much thinking about preparation, strategy, process and planning out and things like this, but nevertheless, what is your art worth it to transform yourself? Until now, the point you are now as an artist or as a creative, it was a process of transformation. You are not the same person you have been 4 years ago. So you already transformed for the sake of your art. And the question is, how much more are you willing to transform yourself for the sake of your art? Not for the sake of the success. This is not what I'm talking about. For the sake of your own creativity, your own creative potentials. And I think we are all willing to go to the next step, because we are also willing to learn something new, perhaps a new technique or perhaps the use of a new material. And this is actually progress to a better artistic future. And in the same way, you can discover that it is worth to also change your mindset, so it is more possible for your own artistic future actually. And once you have made this decision, that you are willing to go to the path that will transform your mind to become a better artist, to become something who is able to do all the necessary steps for a better future of your art, you will discover that actually the things like preparation, strategizing and so on are a great benefit for your art, because nevertheless you are the person who is in command. You are not selling out in the way that you are doing something just for the money or just for the success. No, you are actually able, through planning and through strategizing, set those kinds of goals for your art that you are willing also to go through. And when you are discovering that you are the one who is commanding the ship, you are also the one who is deciding where is this ship heading for. So the act of in the beginning especially of preparation can be something that is not feeling right to you, but nevertheless once you understand you are the commander of the ship, it is up to you how the preparation looks like and how the journey is looking like. All you are doing, especially in the preparation phase, is getting to know yourself, getting to know your resources, your skills, your weaknesses, what is your strength. So during the journey, when you are heading out to a better future for your art, you are then discovering that you are actually having a knowledge, having a clarity about yourself. And no matter which challenges will appear on your journey out there, you are prepared in the way that you know yourself. So something unknown is not clashing the unknown parts of you, because then chaos can appear. You don't know what is the challenge all about, and you don't know yourself, and then explosion is happening because these are two unknown parts. And by preparing yourself, you are actually having one part under control, yourself. And then when something unknown is happening, you already know most likely how you will react, what resources you can use to overcome this challenge and so on. And in this way, your journey to a better artistic future is becoming so much smoother. Let's say Gauguin, he was heading into the unknown, into the tropical, but nevertheless he had some experience with himself in the tropical. This was not something that was already absolutely unknown to him. He was knowing how he will react to the heat that I'm having right now here in front of the camera, and other like diseases, and what was happening there as a challenge. He was prepared in this way because he knew himself and he had a clarity. So nevertheless, what was happening, he was prepared in a way that he could stand through these challenges and still focus on his art. He produced most of the outstanding artworks in this tropical environment because he knew how to cope actually with it. And this is something that you can actually do, just to think about yourself, get to know yourself better, getting clear what are your goals, where you are heading to. It don't have to be just success and money. You can set your very own goals, whatever it is, and then you can put out of this knowing yourself and where you are heading to. When you know the island you are going after, the goal in your future, then you can develop a strategy out of this. And this strategy is also bringing a element of knowledge into your journey, because now you know yourself, you know the goal, and you have a idea of the journey in between. You have a strategy, you have thought this through, you know what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of you. So when something is heading your way during the journey, you know from which challenges you should stay away, or which challenges you can take on without a problem. And all this is developing to your artistic progress, but it starts with the preparation, perhaps with sitting down and thinking about your journey. And from one point you can make the decision to head on to this, to take the first step on this journey. But it's starting even with the smallest steps, by sitting down and writing the things you are knowing about yourself and your art into an artistic notebook. We know about some of the artists like Van Gogh and even Gauguin because they have written a lot. And this writing about yourself can become an artwork on its own. So it's really worth it to develop your ideas slowly by writing or drawing, whatever it is working for you. This is also a part you will get to know what is your best way of preparation, of strategizing. Is this writing? Is this talking with people? Is it a coach? Is it drawing about it? It is really an experiment that you should really try out. Give yourself the chance to experience the ways you are developing yourself as an artist. And in this way you can start first with your big ideas, the big things that you know about yourself, the big goals that you are heading forward. And from these big things you can break them down and become very specific, finding more things about this yourself. And the best thing about this is you are only with you, so there is no criticism. You can write about yourself and speculate yourself whatever you like. In the time of this journey you will find out because of the challenges what of your speculation, what you're thinking about you is right or wrong, that the reality will prove it to you. So it is useless in the preparation phase of your journey to criticize yourself or tell yourself, no, I could never achieve it, or this goal is too big. You will find out about this later on. Let the reality prove you right or wrong, because the reality is so much more exciting than just speculating or just criticizing or thinking what you can or cannot do. Just your art is worth it to put yourself out there, to experience their reality and to discover what potentials do you have, because some of the potentials are so closed inside you that just only a hit with the challenge will open them up. This is actually what Gauguin was doing. He was setting himself into the situation when the challenges become so hard that actually he had to give everything. And this is something that is really inspirational, that as an artist you have the right to put yourself really into the test, to take on challenges that really will squeeze out of you every drop of your potentials. And this is something that is incredible to experience. And never expect from yourself too fast, too many results. I know we are living in a society where you have to put your heart to it, and then in 1 week you have to have some results. Otherwise, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. Why should it be like this? This is your art, your potential. So you have every right to take the time that is necessary to develop yourself, to go through the whole errors, to go through the wrong decisions you are making, because with the wrong decisions you are discovering actually what is not working actually for you. And this is a right that you are having as an artist. The journey itself becomes often the goal. There's a saying like this, because on this journey the things you are experiencing, the drawings you are making, the ideas you are having, they are all accumulating to a heritage, and they are making your art so much richer. And to think only about the end goal is something that often can be proven wrong, because art is about what you are doing day by day, and over a time the things you are producing, the things you are experiencing are accumulating to something bigger. You can set yourself even a time when you don't want to take too much time of your life. Set yourself a time, just perhaps 1 week, to go into the preparation and then into experience phase. Whatever the time frame you are setting yourself, you have the right to take the resource of time and do whatever you like with it. Take yourself the time of 4 years to discover yourself as an artist, to put you out there, to put you on the journey to a better artistic future. And then you can find out through the doing that it's worth believing in yourself and believing in your art, because the art has evolution, a growth on the challenges, on the path, on the journey out there. And I think it is something that every artist should try in his life. It is not something that is perhaps will work out on the first approach, but nevertheless every preparation for a journey will make you and your art so much stronger. And just to experience yourself out there confronted with the challenges, when you have the clarity, and with every challenge this clarity is getting actually bigger, will be a transformation of you and your art. And the best thing, it is not transforming because of someone else is transforming you in a way or manipulating you. It is between you and the reality out there, and this is making the difference in the world. Because when the reality, the world as it is, the world essence is influencing the artist, the art itself becomes so much richer and so much, it has just more substance. When you look at some of the artworks of Gauguin, you can see how this islands, this tropical islands, has transformed the artist with time, and you can really almost feel the substance, this essence dripping from the painting. And your art is deserving the same treatment. Your art deserves to be something that is representing a part of our reality that is unseen by many, that has something to do with the valuable things in the world, that has the essence of being an artist. So if you have today the time, just try it out. Go to sit down and start to prepare yourself, prepare your journey, write down all the things that you are knowing about yourself, and then go from this point to strategizing a little bit, because now you know yourself, you know your goals, and then think about it, how to put those two things together through a path. What would be the best strategy to head towards the goals you are setting with what you are having? And in the next step is just doing it, just pulling yourself together, and no matter how small the first step is, just to take this first step. So I hope this is a little bit of an inspiration for you. All it takes is a few minutes today to sit down and to start to think about it, write about it, and then just go out there and try it out. I hope to see you in the next video, and I will also take now a walk and think about some things about myself and about my goals and my preparation for a better artistic future. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, see you soon. Bye bye.